Hello, everybody, and welcome to DraftKings. My name is Ty Atkins, and I'm your host. And we are talking about Week 9 of the English Premier League. That's right, we're there already. And this part is our 8-man picks. So, joining me this week, as ever, to my left, we have DraftKings staff writer Jamie Hinks. Over the way, they've got Edo Delamonte, European football correspondent. And next to him, that's right, it's the humorist Andy Davies. Gentlemen, I hope you're well, and I hope you've all selected juicy teams for us for Week 9. Yeah. We have, good. As ever, we're going to start with goalkeepers. So I'm going to ask these guys in turn who their goalkeeper is, and I'm going to start with Edo Delamonte. Edo, who's your goalkeeper this week and why?
Tom Heaton for Burnley. He costs 4,000, which this week is 2,000 less than the most expensive guys, which I believe will be Arsenal and Liverpool's goalkeepers, so whoever they line up. Right, I think that for Everton, Burnley are playing Everton at home, there's going to be maybe an emotional drain for Everton coming from that really good result against Man City. I think Burnley are much better at home than they are away. Much better is relative here. I mean, they're still not. It's not a terrible team, but Heaton has been regularly making saves this season. He's averaging almost 10 points. We all love him on the show, and I do think that Everton can be inconsistent in front of goal. I mean, I think they've only scored twice or more goals, or 2 or more goals rather this season, like only on a couple of occasions, and one of them was against Sunderland, who were basically imploded in that game. So, you know, Lukaku can misfire, although I told people not to pick him last week, he scored. But yeah, I think Tom Heaton's a good one here.
I think it's a good one. There's always saves with Tom Heaton so far this season, and there will be shots coming at him, no doubt. Andy Davies, you next. Who's your goalkeeper?
Tom Heaton.
Oh.
Yeah, I've picked him a lot this season. He's not let me down.
Nearly 10 points, right?
9.3 points a game. Did he make something like 11 saves in his last match? It was ridiculous. Yeah. And Everton will shoot. He's a keeper that I think he's only dropped out. He's only had a couple of really shocking performances this season, but that's been because Burnley have shipped in so many goals that his points have gone down. But every week he's very, very consistent. And at 9.3, I mean, I don't think is there many keepers, if any keepers above that.
Lloris,
3. To check maybe.
I don't even know if Lloris is.
Really?
He doesn't.
I don't think Lloris doesn't make any saves. Yeah. So I think Petr Cech is 9.8 perhaps. Yeah, but other than that. And he's way, way down the list. He's 2,000 cheaper. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Burnley aren't going to get, they're not going to be on the end of a 7-0 drubbing by Everton this week. So why not pick him? Save some money for the rest of your team. That's what I've done.
Yeah, great sage advice by Andy Davies and Edo.
Sage advice.
Sage advice, that's right, because it's a budget choice, but he's a very, very talented keeper. Finally, Jamie, your goalkeeper. Are you going to surprise us, or are you going to go?
It's a full house of Tom.
Full house.
It's 4,000. Yeah, 11 saves against Southampton last week. It's the most of any keeper so far this season, and I just like him in this match. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't pick him because he's by far the cheapest of any goalie that will start this Saturday. Yeah. And I think you can use that money elsewhere because I've needed to budget for it because I've spent all my money even with Heaton at 4,000. So.
I've not seen anything quite like this, actually. So, DraftKings fans there, get Tom Heaton. That's all I can say. I'm in complete agreement with these chaps. 4,000 is ridiculously cheap for a man that good. Right, defenders. Edo, I'm going to start with you, my friend. Defenders, why?
Laurent Koscielny and Bruno Martins Indy. Koscielny is 4,200. He's averaging 7 points a game this season. Why? Well, he's playing at home against Middlesbrough. Something clean sheet, good probability. I'd rather spend that money on Koscielny than I would on Arsenal. So on Petr Cech, I imagine will play that game. I'd rather spend the money on Koscielny, who scored 2 goals this season. Always a danger in the air. Mustafi and he are quietly becoming one of the best sort of centre-back pairings in the league, if not actually the best centre-back.
Oh! Hey!
But,
sorry, Sammy.
Scott.
Okay, for everyone, everyone's wondering. If everyone out there is wondering, if everybody's wondering what that was about, it's not a sudden outbreak of SARS. It is basically a Spurs fan and a Palace fan.
We're talking about
remonstrating.
I will give you, but not Scott Dan.
Scott Dan, James Tompkins.
I personally would have Scott Dan over both of them, but I don't really like Arsenal that much, if I'm honest. So, sorry, continue, please.
Continue. No, so I like. And my other guy, Bruno Martins Indy, 3,300. I'm going on talent here because he's one of those guys that Stoke City will pick up who's either a good value.
Say his name again.
Bruno Martins Indy.
Bruno Martins Indy, everybody.
Shaking the Dutch accent as well.
I noticed, but it's what you do.
World Cup semi-final, Bruno Martins Indy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2014. Anyway, yes, he's one of those guys they picked up from Porto. I know that Mbula hasn't quite worked out yet, but we saw enough talent, enough sort of a spark to think that he's a really good player. Look at all the Arnautovic's, the Allens, the Shaqiri, sorry. They've all been really good. And I think that Martin Zindi, he plays as a fullback, so he's got a lot of sort of, he can also play as a centre-back. He's not the most attacking of guys, but he's also putting crosses. He can be dangerous in the box. He's got a good header on him. They're playing Hull City, so I don't know.
What's his average there, Edo?
4.2, so it's not great.
Not great, but
It's 3,300 and they're playing Hull City. I think a clean sheet's not out of the question either. Stoke are playing better recently.
Hey, listen, that was wise. You've used it's good budgeting, and you've got to look at the opponents. And Hull are tanking. Right, Jamie, over to you. Your defenders, sir, and why?
I'm with him. I haven't got Bruno Martins Indy, but I've gone for a Stoke defender. Eric Peters again, second week in a row, 10 points last week. Hull are absolutely awful. Bournemouth's fullbacks absolutely ran riot against them last week. I didn't expect 6-0. I expected a win, but not. Maybe I know it was 6-1. I think I'm doing them a disservice. They did score a goal. They won't score a goal this week. He had 4 tackles last week as well in their first win of the season. 4,900 is quite a lot, but I think it's okay. I mean, when I've
in that game,
I think it's all right. The other guy I've gone for is James Milner, 7,600. I think being disappointed at him on Monday night is a bit of an understatement because I thought he'd get way more than 9 points. I thought it was a very poor performance from him. But I think you look at the winning lineup every week and it always has 2 fullbacks in it. He's the best fullback in DraftKings. He's better than most of the midfielders.
That's because he's not really. I mean, he takes the penalties. That's interesting. He is scoring goals as well as
he's
been
crosses
deployed.
in, which fullbacks. He is playing as a defender, so he is in the right place. He's very attacking, but so are a lot of other defenders. And he's good at corners. He's good at penalties. Had 25 points and 32 points the 2 weeks before that. I don't know how you can't pick him right now. I know it's a big price, but
that's the thing.
He's guaranteeing you 16, 17 points every single game.
Or 9 points the other day.
It was against Man United. It was against Man United.
bad.
He didn't attack. This week they're playing West Brom.
They are playing West Brom, but a lot of it's not often you see that. Everybody, as we've got a panel member that's really put a lot of money into the defence. But
I just can't sit. I can't not pick him. I don't think there's better options out there, and I wanted the most points.
No problem. Okay, interesting choices from Jamie there, and finally Andy Davies. Andy Davies, who are your 2 defenders, and why have you picked them?
Why have I picked them?
Yes,
Financial reasons first.
excellent.
But also, look, you're talking about Koscielny and Mustafi being the best central defensive partnership in the league. This would be, if they played for the same team, would be the best central defensive partnership in the league. I'm talking about the 2 Johnnies. Former star-crossed lovers, not star-crossed lovers from Man United, but former cohorts at Manchester United. John O'Shea and Johnny Evans,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen. So bloody hell me. I needed to save my money for the rest of my team. And you know what? Apart from James Milner, who was way too expensive, no other defenders I can be bothered with. So I went for these 2. 2.8 thousand. Guess which Johnny is 2.8 thousand?
Probably the one at Sunderland.
O'Shea is 2.8. Johnny Evans for that extra average 1 point. No, 2.9.
Hey.
Yeah. My defence and goalkeeper is almost cheaper than my next most cheap player.
Wow.
It's
I have to
incredible.
say, this is incredible. This is a first.
This is the first, but you know what?
gotta say-
You know what? They're at least. I looked at their statistics, right? They may not hit double figures. They may not reach 7s, 8s, or 9s, but they don't go into the minuses. And I have gone big for the rest of my team, so I needed to play it very, very cagey in defence.
Okay.
And I quite like the idea of having Johnny Evans and John O'Shea in my second side.
Well,
Why not?
It's definitely.
They're the after-dinner speaking duo that the country deserves right now.
It's definitely raised a smile, but it's the first time I've ever leaned forward as long as I've been doing this show. And I've got both feet on the ground. I'm going to put my arms on my lap and I'm going to look at you, Andy Davies, and
It was
say,
genuinely, I wanted my midfield, forwards and utilities, I wanted so badly I had to sacrifice.
no, that's fine, that's fine. I just want to remind you of something. You've picked a defender from Sunderland.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
They were playing West Ham, who aren't going to smash them, are they?
Well, we'll see, because
And
West
it's-
Ham won last week, and this could be the beginning of a roll.
It's at the whatever it's called, the New Upton Park, City of London Stadium, the country's biggest council house. It's whatever you want to call it. We're paying for it, right? Thank you. Don't mention it, David Sullivan. I nearly said John Sullivan, but the poor fella passed away. He wrote Only Fools and Horses, people. Wonderful.
And Just Good Friends.
And Just Good Friends as well. But they're not going to get told. This could be the game that, actually, no, I'm putting it on the line here.
Go on,
This is
put your
Sunderland's
feet on the floor.
Sunderland's first 3 points of the season, John O'Shea to get the winner.
You've heard it there, everybody. So it's insane today. We've gone for almost a $50,000 budget defence from Jamie, and we've got a man over there who's picked a Sunderland defender, and we've got Edo. Can't remember what he picked. To be honest with you. Okay, right, let's get into the midfield, because now this is where the big money's going to go, obviously, apart from Jamie's already blown it all, I think. Edo, going to start with you. Who are your midfielders, and why have you picked them?
I have Joe Allen at 6,200, Stoke City. He's averaging nearly 15 points a game this season. And I have just a heart drawn next to his name, which I think says a lot, really. Jamie was singing his praises last week, and I completely agree, because he's kind of been everywhere for them. And in fact, even without racking up the goals and the assists necessarily, he still does get good numbers. Tackles, interceptions. He's the sort of middle of the park Andros Townsend, if you like. And I think he's been pretty good.
I think Joe Allen would hate that if he heard that. He'd be
He's
furious.
hate that, Joe is.
They call me the Welsh Pirlo, he says. Why have you compared me to Andros Townsend?
Welsh Andros Townsend. The Newport Townsend.
Love it. Sorry, please continue.
No, but yeah, so he's playing away at Hull. I see a goal in this potentially. I think Stoke have looked better recently, so that's a good one. Modou Barrow is my other guy. He's averaging just over 8 points a game. He costs you 5,800. So, playing against Watford, who I believe have yet to keep a clean sheet this season, and if they have, they've only kept one. Their defence has been, creaky at best. Mo Barrow was getting actually some good numbers last season as well. He's got competition from Montero on the left, which hasn't helped, but he does put a lot of crosses in, gets those shots on target. Swansea kind of looked a bit rejuvenated last week, They got 2 goals in there. I like Mo Barrow. I think he's a pretty interesting pick at less than 6,000. Come on.
I think it's a very interesting pick, because he's never been picked on this show before, actually, Mo Barrow. But yeah, you make a lot of sense.
I've come close to picking him before. Week 1, week 2, and it was a good job I didn't, incidentally.
And that was then. Right, so we're going to move on now next door to Andy Davies. Andy Davies, who are your midfielders? They better be big.
They are.
Good.
They are big. I've gone for Adam Lallana of Liverpool. I couldn't quite afford Coutinho or Firmino, so I just sort of went down the list. I'm not hugely convinced about Liverpool's chances against West Brom, just because it's Pulis and he's proved against Spurs that he's very good at defending against press. But it's not going to stop Liverpool from getting many, many shots and creating many, many chances. I just think West Brom are going to defend the hell out of it. And Adam Lallana has been very crucial to Liverpool this season. He's back from injury, 8,000, and he's averaging 11.7 points per game. Alongside him all season, there'd been a big hole in my midfield that I'd been trying to fill with players like Andros Townsend, but it just wasn't really fulfilling me as a DraftKings picker. But he's back, he's on form, and Shaqiri is back, not just in my team, but back in my heart. And I'm pretty much this guy's he's in every week. I love him. And he's only 7.8 thousand, which is nothing for a man of his gifts. And since he's come back from injury, he's been really good, averaging 12.1 points. He's had a really good couple of World Cup qualifiers for Switzerland as well. I think he scored once, created one as well. So he's back in form, and they're playing Hull. So they should. I think with Shaqiri's return and the form of Joe Allen, I think Stoke look like they're kind of turning that corner now, and that the early season sort of horror show might be behind them, and they can go on a kind of bit of a run to.
Well, you know what?
Secure their
We're all
midterm.
waiting for Wilfried Boney to score still, haven't we? That's got to happen
we
at
are.
some point. So if
One
it
day.
all clicks, it's got to click at Hull. And also on the subject of Shaqiri, everybody, I urge you all to Google Shaqiri's calves. If you haven't seen them, they're like cannonballs, freakish. Side issue. Let's carry on. Let's move over to Jamie. Jamie, your midfielders.
Managed to scrape a bit of money together for Dimitri Payet.
Oh, that guy.
10,400. He's going to have a big day at the council house this weekend, I think. I think if you want guaranteed points this week, just pick him, because Sunderland are absolutely awful. Jermaine Defoe admitted it himself today that they're just crap. So Pyatt will love beating up on them this week. He's going to get a goal and assist, maybe 2 of each. I know Cresswell's suspended this week, but I don't think it matters.
Do you think Dimitri Payet's going to do quite well against John O'Shea?
I don't think it will be O'Shea. It would be marking him. It'll probably be Mankilo or something. Like
Exactly why I picked O'Shea.
a lot. Maybe does Wes Brown still play for them?
He's still up there.
He might get a game.
I found out like Wes Brown's like 35.
Yeah,
I think he was cut.
Mental.
Because Moyes just seems to play who he wants every week. So someone will
He's
get
the
a
manager.
game. Well, no, but he changes. It's just random.
He's trying to find that right selection.
yeah, by just throwing everyone on and being like, right, score.
Yeah, it's Sunderland.
Yeah, I know they're going to go down this season. Right? Unless they get
brutally.
Allardyce in, they're going to go down. Alongside him, I've had to go for Danny Drinkwater, 4,500. Yeah, he's having to do the job of 2 players, which means more DraftKings points.
Indeed. What's his average at the moment?
6.3, but who knows? He might get a goal against Palace. We don't like keeping clean sheets, so and Mahrez and Vardy don't like scoring, so
No,
maybe
indeed
Danny
not.
will get the goal.
Right. While we're on fire, let's get to the strikers, everybody. That's it. This is the juice of the team. Andy Davies, who are your strikers this week and why?
Well, look, some players are streaky, and this guy is streaky, and he's on a streak. 9 goals in 7 matches. I've gone for Romelu Lukaku. And I think it's the first time I've picked Romelu Lukaku in
The non-Roberto Martinez era.
in maybe a year. I might have picked him in the Euros once and instantly regretted it. But look, I will hold my hands up. He's absolutely banging form at the moment. And Lukaku, when he's in form, he scores lots of goals. The run will end and he'll go 10 games without a goal at the start of next season. But yeah, I've gone for him. 9.2 thousand, but yes, averaging 16.3 points a game. So that's pretty good.
He's playing Burnley, of course.
And they're playing Burnley. And it's good because that means Tom Heaton gets to make lots and lots of saves. And more points for me. And Jamie and Edo here. And alongside him, another player I never ever thought I'd pick ever. And almost promised myself I'd never pick him even if he was good. But when he was a centre forward, he couldn't score for toffee. Now he's decided and declared in the summer that he's a winger again. Theo Walcott's absolutely smashing him in. And he's been a completely different player this season. Arguably alongside Sanchez, and Arsenal, one of the most in-form Arsenal players at the moment, arguably. But you could pick any one of those 3. They're playing Middlesbrough. Arsenal are going to smash Middlesbrough this weekend. So take your pick. Sanchez is too expensive. I think he's 10,000. Theo Walcott at 8.9. He could get a couple of goals and
He'll be involved.
He'll be involved, and he's been really good. So they are my my forwards this week. A lot of points there.
Excellent. I think you could be right. Certainly with Lukaku, who I've always been a fan of, guys. You know, unlike you lot. Now on to you, Jamie. Who are your strikers and why, mate?
Give me a bucket.
Well, we like him.
I don't like him.
No, exactly.
I do.
You're good.
Just like him this week.
Yeah, good.
It will do nothing this week, and I'll slag him off next week.
Edo, do you like him or no?
I love him. Love the man.
Right. Anyway, on to more important players. Wilfred Zaha, 6,600. I don't think I've ever picked him on DraftKings. And
This is a romance pick.
It is a romance pick because all the other Palace players are too expensive this
Why
week.
pick
I took
him?
real issue with it.
You did all your money on James Milner.
You didn't have to buy any Palace players. You could have swerved it.
I
They're at the champs. They're going to
win.
All
I
right.
have to buy them if they're going to win.
Alan Pardew for England.
Yeah.
They're all expensive. That's what he's
They're really expensive. This is what he's done for them. He's made them so expensive, and he's going to get the England job. They're all going to drop in price. Wilfred Zaha, all the other, as I say, all the other guys are too expensive. Like Andros Townsend is way too much this week, and I think Wilf's just going to get lumps kicked out of him by Leicester's brutish defenders, and bring me loads of points. And
There's logic. There's logic.
Yeah, he had 3 double-digit fantasy point days in the games before the West Ham one, and Pardew just kept switching him sides against West Ham, and he does. I don't think he likes that.
No.
I think he likes to just stay on one side and just attack on that side. So, and alongside him, Sadio Mane, 8,400. I think he's Liverpool's most dangerous threat. Usually, I like stacking him together with Milner because already got 3 goals and 1 assist this season. I couldn't get I wanted Coutinho, but I couldn't get him in because he's only listed as a midfielder. So I've gone for Mane. I think the threat is the same. It's just that there's no forward as cheap as Danny Drinkwater for me to choose in that spot. And I think Liverpool are going to score and win against West Brom, and I think Mane will be involved along with James Milner.
Right, okay, interesting. But that's it, everybody. If you pick expensive defenders, you end up picking a Zaha up front.
At least it wasn't a Zaza, eh?
Indeed. Well, gosh, yeah, I remember who did that. All right. Edo, you're the man of the hour with your strikers.
I am the man of the hour, and these are both M/F, so midfielders who can play and attack. And Nasser Chadli is my first one at 7,200. I really like the price, and I think Liverpool's another team that has struggled with clean sheets this season, even when they've absolutely murdered Hull City and Leicester City and whatnot, they're still conceded.
Yes.
And I think that Chadli, who I kind of criticised last week, I said he'd had one good game, but no.
He's been playing all right.
I think he's had one bad game, and then the rest have been pretty
darn impressive.
Yeah, but he's getting DraftKings goals, and luckily DraftKings isn't real life, and
It is for some of us.
Some of us. Well, trust me, the DraftKings not real life is even more relevant for my utility,
I'll
so I'll bring him up in a
and
second.
walk off then.
But this is
What have you done with Edo?
What have you done with that Edo guy? No, but seriously, Nasser Chadli, it is what we say about DraftKings. It is former Tottenham player heaven.
Yeah.
And he's just been really good. And he's playing, so Clyde's probably going to play on that side, so not that great on defence. West Brom are actually sneaky, so, I saw Leicester City and Hull City get crushed there. I don't think West Brom will necessarily get murdered by Liverpool, so I think he's good. The other one is, regrettably, it's Phil Walcott at just under 15. He's
I picked him as well.
I wanted him, but I took James Milner.
I don't want to encourage him, by picking him, but by encouraging Theo.
He's bloody good at the moment.
That's the thing. I think there will be some rage about the fact that, he was good for Arsenal, then went to England and basically, laid an egg. People are going to go sort of, all right, but he reacted to that with a brace.
Then you must remember who does play good for England. Very few. There's very few standouts.
Joe Hart.
Joe Hart, yeah, apart from
Poor
the Iceland
old-
game and
poor
apart from the
Joe.
Wales game. So you say that, but
Or Claudio Bravo. Oh dear.
Yeah.
differently. But here's the thing. Champions League, obviously. But the thing is, I'm always hesitant on using England form when it comes to club form.
No, exactly. But I think that will affect some people. So he's not going to be. What I was trying to say was that he's not going to be necessarily the sexiest pick ever. I think savvy DK players, will pick him. I think there'll be enough rage at him otherwise that people may sort of steer off him. He did kind of fly a little bit under the radar. So I'm hoping that's still the case.
I think more and more people will be picking him because he has been playing very well. And he's just doing the job. And there you go. And his inflated price shows that because you were getting for around 6s earlier in the season. Now he's shot up to 8s. So there we go. But you could be right. I think there'll be a big share in there. Okay, interesting strikers after your midfielders and defenders and goalkeepers. But you know what, everybody? There's one place left in your 8-man team. That's right. And this is the utility player. This could be a player from any position that you've just got enough money from your budget to splash out on. So let's start with Andy Davies. Andy Davies, who is your utility player this week and why?
I've gone for the Welsh Mark Noble. I've gone for Joe Allen of Stoke. Sorry, he's much better than Mark Noble. No, Joe Allen of Stoke, 6.2 thousand. Look, I'm really loving Stoke this weekend, partly because Shaqiri is back in my team, in my heart. But Joe Allen, you had a big heart next to Joe Allen. I'll put a big heart next to mine as well. I think he's been playing. Well, I think he's been playing well. He's been playing fantastically well recently. He's only 6.2 thousand, which is cheap for a man of his DraftKings gifts. So Joe Allen all day long for me.
I love it. I like the emergence of Joe Allen because I laughed when Liverpool spent all that money on him from Swansea the other year. I was like, I scoffed 15 million or something ridiculous. Never really bedded in, didn't really work out for him. He's gone to Stoke. And even though they've had a beleaguered start, he's been playing brilliant. I think it's a great choice. I think it's a brilliant choice, guys. Edo, what about yourself, my friend? Who is your utility player?
Andros Townsend.
Oh, yeah.
Someone got him in. Brilliant.
And after weeks of refusing to jump on that bandwagon, I finally have. But look, Leicester City have conceded 14 goals this season. This is what I was saying earlier about being good in life, not necessarily DraftKings, vice versa. I think he'll be good in both against this Leicester City team. And I think there'll be assists in this game. Yeah, it's true the price is there, but I think we've got to make the most of the fact that Leicester City look like they're struggling a lot, and they've already lost 4 times out of 8 this season. So, nothing seems to work in that defence. The attack, everything. So, could it be because I don't know, but he's a good pick.
Great pick. To be fair, whoever Andros Townsend plays, he's going to let off crosses, and he's certainly going to take shots, whether they're successful or not. irrespective, he will get you DraftKings points. Good choice. And finally, Jamie Hinks, who's your utility?
This very cheap Stephen Kingsley. Well, not very cheap because that would be John O'Shea and
That would be John O'Shea.
the lads, the Johnnies. But Stephen Kingsley, 3,600. I quite like Swansea in this game against Watford. Watford's fullbacks play very high up the pitch, I've written here, and Kingsley is the best fullback at this price.
He is.
If he doesn't play, then I'll dip in and take John O'Shea. How about that?
Interesting.
Nice.
And then I'll have a bit more money to spend on a midfielder that I can have in instead of Danny Drinkwater.
Where do you go? Because
There we go.
everybody out there
Should have
DraftKings
done that at
land.
the start.
Should have done that originally, but
Never forget, you can change your team right up to kickoff. That's right, right up to 3 o'clock on the Saturday, or even on the Sunday games, you can change your team right at the last minute. So you don't have to be fixed upon your choices even at this stage, a day, 2 days before the big games themselves. So those are utility players. I like what you did, Jamie. You went for a whatever money you found down the back of the sofa.
Yeah.
These two boys saved up money and went quite big with Joe Allen and Andros Townsend. But let's look at their teams overall. Let's start with Andy's. Here we go, up on the... There he is. Look at him. When he had a beard, everybody. So, in goal, we've gone for Tom Heaton, like everybody else, and probably most of you guys out there in DraftKings land too. Then he's gone for the Johnnies in defence. That's right. Johnny Evans. Remember him?
Low owned.
And Johnny...
there'll be no owned.
He will be low owned. Probably not as low owned as John O'Shea, who'll be standing next to him in Andy's team. Then we've got Adam Lallana, who didn't start the other night against Man U, but we suspect he will against West Brom. Then next to him, he's made his way back into Andy's team and his heart. It is Xherdan Shaqiri, the man with the cannonball calves. Then up front, he's defied his own rules here. He's gone for Romelu Lukaku, a man you can't ignore. Look at the average there, 16.3 a game, and he's playing Burnley. He will be in the action there. And then next to him, another form player. It's Theo Walcott. He's finally playing like the player we thought he would be 10 years ago, but he's doing it now. That's what's important. And finally, he's gone for the Welsh PLO himself, Joe Allen. Let's move on now to Edo's team. And in goal, also gone for Heaton. Then he's gone for Koscielny from Arsenal. Next to him, he's gone for Martins Indy. Then the Welsh PLO strikes back. He's there again, right there in the midfield. Then he's gone for Modu Barrow of Swansea. Then up front, he's gone for Nasser Chadli, a man who's basically proven that he is indeed a very good and consistent at the moment Premier League player. I'm sure Spurs are not missing him too much, but he's doing the job there. 14 points average. And therefore, we've got to go to Walcott. Yep, he's there again. Sorry, I thought... I know, I'm not a big fan, but again, he cannot be denied. He's playing brilliant. And then, one man had to pick him. He is the DraftKings point-scoring machine. It's Andros Townsend playing away at the Champions. And finally, Jamie's team. Smiley Jamie Hinks there, up there in the corner. He's also gone for Tom Heaton. Then he's gone for Eric Peters and Milner in defence. Big money he's put out for those two. Well over 10 grand for the pair. But... hey, good reason. There's some good points there, certainly with Milner. Then, Dimitri Payet, a man who will always appear in one of our teams. He is at home against Sunderland. He will do well, everybody. That is a brilliant pick. Then he's got for Danny Drinkwater, which is an interesting one because he's pretty much just a tackler for the most part, but his average is not too bad for that price, 6.3. Then, gamble. He's gone for Wilfried Zaha for everybody. But look at the average, not too bad. You know, I'm never, very, very rarely will go against Jamie. He's really wrong. And then he's gone for Mane up front, who's having a brilliant start to his Liverpool career. And then finally, with the money he had left, he's gone for Stephen Kingsley of Swansea. Let's see how he does. Those are our picks, everybody. As you can see, so many players on offer this weekend. Don't be shy. Take a look. Get the app. Get it onto your phone, your tablet, your home computer. Get your $50,000 budget. Play your friends, play us, play the world. You will have fun, but you can also win big. This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.